top of the throne. I ain't a king, not a pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many miracles burning my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicki know what I'm about. I'm not. The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone dogs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but them LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart. I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Clippity. Yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice. Taking notice. Taking notice. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and our home team. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and our home team. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
This is Hunt. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 1 rushing touchdown, yes, but look at the rushing yards. He was up near 200.
The one phrase I'd use to describe that performance, he carved up that defense.
On second down, it's Hunt, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it third down.
It's now third down and 4.
From the gun on third down, Murray. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered...
And his first carry, he loses the football. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. He's at the 50. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Give him 30 yards there. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Carr. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. David Njoku. His first touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. 23 yards the pickup there.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Markel Lee. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 15-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jesse James, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Saquon Barkley. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. The headshots here are the offensive unit. And what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
From the 31, Carr, and that is incomplete here. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 3 catches last week. He's got 3 in the first quarter here tonight. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. The left side completion to Jones. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Murray, they'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put...
And nothing but daylight ahead. 30, 10, touchdown Titans. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans have once again taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
From the 16, Carr, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. But he's taken down inside the 30. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 12 yards there and a first down. On first down, Hunt. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll look to run with Singletary. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. This Titan defense, they just will not give in easily. Looking for another stop, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. As his guys are able to regain the lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. Now Drake, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Murray. His throw incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Murray. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for the Raiders. 51 yards. That pass was heavily defended on 3rd down, but you know what? He's one of the best in the league at body control, and he showed you why there.
So what that tells you is that the guy throwing the football,
pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Murray going to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You've got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
Carr going to throw, and Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Carr now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They'll go with Snell here on 1st down. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there, 1st down. On 1st down, Carr. He's gotten a Njoku over the middle. And he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Kirk Cousins leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. The final, 26-14. And then finally, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the Miami Dolphins.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. Coming. Check 43. To the roll. West. Echo. Ringer, guys.
First down, Murray. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll run on first down. Hines. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down now, it's Hunt. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On third down, it's Hines. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And that is caught! Touchdown, Raiders! Julio Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch. So
that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Touchdown.
An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. So he's in for his third score of the game, and a defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them, and plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never
rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Wagner. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Shotgun now for Carr. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Akeem Spence in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. That one, 28 yards on the ground. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. To throw on 2nd and 6, Murray. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
You see me? You see me?
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Murray. Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
On 1st down, Hunt. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
17.
Crunch time, defense.
They run again with Hunt. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And Jones has it over the middle. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Murray to air it out again. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Paris Campbell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Back to the air on second down. It's caught and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And now here come the Raiders. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Man, he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Raiders pick it up. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, here's Murray. Oh, now Murray has it stripped. It's picked up by the Titans. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Bryant's extra point up and good, and that will get him one closer. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And did the Titans get this? Yes, Tennessee football. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Carr completes it, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr, and he hits Drake. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now a draw play with Drake. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve. That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage. Murray fighting, lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they are going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, it's certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened. Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken at the 3, and he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust. And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this,
but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to throw it. Murray keeps himself upright, and that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. This is caught inside the 15. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Murray again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And that will write a finish to this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.
Tell me what you want, what you need, tell me what you Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconception.